Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Finance and Investment Management. Today we are going to talk about another risk-adjusted performance measure, and by the end of this lecture you should be able to define and calculate what is a Treynor ratio. Now the Treynor ratio is first proposed by a person called Jack Treynor in the year 1965. Similar to the Sharpe ratio, Treynor ratio also allows performance to measure between the stocks, the mutual fund, the exchange traded fund, and between different types of investment. The difference is that the risk-adjusted measure for the Sharpe ratio is based on the risk of the individual stock, which is the standard deviation, while for the Treynor ratio is about the market risk or the systematic risk. So what Jack Treynor does is that he tries to find the connections and relationship between the fund manager's portfolio and the market portfolio. And to do this, the purpose is to identify the risk caused by the market fluctuation. Now, if you look at the equation for the Treynor ratio, you will find out that the Treynor ratio equation looks very similar to the Sharpe ratio. It is also using the portfolio excess return, which is in this case the expected return of the portfolio minus the risk-free rate. Now, the only difference is that Treynor ratio is divided by the market risk, which is presented by the beta. Okay, so what is beta? Beta is the second letter of the Greek alphabet, and in finance, it is a tool that is in the fundamental analysis. Basically, what it does is that it takes the volatility of the portfolio or our individual asset, and it is comparing to the volatility of the whole market. Now, there are a few things that the student need to remember. For the market, it has a beta of equals to 1. If a financial asset has a beta of less than 1, generally it has less fluctuation compared to the market. But usually as well, it has a less risk, and at the same time, it will have a relatively lower return as well on average. If a financial asset or a portfolio has a beta of higher than 1, then generally it has more fluctuating compared to the market portfolio. And also on average, it means that it has a higher risk, but on average as well, it usually gives a higher return compared to market. To calculate the beta, we usually take the covariance between the financial asset and the return of market. And then for this one, we divide it by the variance of the market return. Now remember very carefully, this is divided by the variance, not the standard deviation. Now, the good news is to calculate the Treynor ratio, we do not always need to calculate for the beta. Sometimes when we go to the Yahoo Finance or any other financial data, the betas is usually given. So in this case, we can see that the beta for Burberry stocks for 3 years and monthly data, it has a beta of 1.58. Okay, now it's your turn again. So given that the beta of the Burberry is 1.58 and assuming the beta of L 1.8, what you need to do is to calculate the Treynor ratio, assuming Burberry earns 2% of the return per month, while LV earns 2.2% per month. Also, at the same time, the banks also give an interest rate of just 1% per year. And in this case, which one is actually a better stock to invest? And as usual, students will be requested to present your answer in a PowerPoint format and send them to the Study Smart, and it counts as your attendance. As a short conclusion, you should now able to define what is the Treynor ratio and know what is the formula to calculate for a Treynor ratio. And for now, it is everything for this video. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.